Welcome back to Leeds Lately. Before we get into this one, if you could just hit that subscribe button down below and the like button if you enjoy the video, that would really help me out. Today's video is going to be about a signing. Now, last week I made a signing video and somebody said, well, where's your information for this? Well, there wasn't any information for this. These sorts of videos usually are videos of players that I've seen that I really like, that I think could do well at Leeds, but obviously the thumbnail and title has to get people to come and watch the video. Today's video, however, is actually a bit different because we have actually been quite heavily linked with Lukić of Torino, as you can see in the thumbnail, and of Serbia, who you saw him play for in the World Cup. Now, Serbia have just gone out of the World Cup last night. I'm recording this before any of the round of 16 games have happened. So Serbia are out of the World Cup, and I don't think Lukić picked up any injuries. Lukić then, he's had a bit of a strange career, and to me, I think he's a very quintessential auto player because he hasn't hit the heights that maybe he should have, given his talent. And he's had a bit of an up and down career. He's had loans out to Spanish sides, back to Italian sides, back to Spanish sides, and eventually settled down at Torino, who he is playing for now. He's also played in a load of different positions as well, because it's almost as though managers can't really work out what to do with him. He's played in a holding midfield role. He's played in a bit of a number 8, trying to get forward as well. I think at times he's even played in that number 10 role. But I think primarily he is a player who likes to dictate the play. And to me, if we do sign this player, it is likely that it's going to be a replacement long-term for Adam Forshaw, who his contract is up at the end of the season, I think. So when he goes, somebody like Lukić off the bench for Leeds, or when Tyler Adams has got, for example, when he has a red card, a player like Lukić to come in could deputise for him against the likes of Man City when we are missing our players. If Marc Roca is out, or Marc Roca, maybe the game doesn't suit him, somebody like Lukić could come in who is a little bit more athletic, let's say, than Marc Roca. He can run around a little bit more. So yeah, I think he's the best of both worlds. I think on Transfermarkt, he is valued at 13 million euros, but obviously that is taken with a pinch of salt because transfer market value is often less than what the player actually goes for. So Torino will probably be asking for a little bit more. But at around 14 to 15 million pounds, I think that is not too bad of a deal for Lukić. You're in the Premier League now, and you need to invest in players that can actually have a material difference to your squad depth, and somebody like Lukić to come and sit on the bench and actually start a lot of games is a great squad depth option for Leeds. At £15 million, it's not a massive amount of outlay for a Premier League side, especially a Premier League side who has lofty ambitions, who has said that we want to set our sights on eventually getting a European place. You have to be making signings like these. Having said all that, because I think it would be a good signing, although he hasn't been particularly outstanding anywhere he's been a solid, serviceable player, and that's kind of what you need in a team like Leeds. But the priority for me should still be a left back and a striker. There was an interview from Jesse Marsh with an American football, as in American soccer, YouTube channel, and he said that they were so close to signing Cody Gakpo that Victor Orta was in the Netherlands, was speaking to Cody Gakpo's family, was finalising a deal and everything, and that one fell through, and he is now out of our price range. He's now joint top scorer at the World Cup. I think he's almost going to go stratospheric with his price range now, and it'd probably be Man United buying him for about 100 million when we were probably going to sign him for about 35, 40 if we could have got that deal across the line, but we couldn't. I can't speak today. We couldn't get that deal across the line, and unfortunately for Leeds, he's going to be out of our price range now. De Ketelaere seemed like we dodged a bit of a bullet there because he's really not been good for AC Milan, and when he came on for Belgium, who have also gone out of the World Cup, I genuinely didn't notice he was on the pitch. He was terrible. So that's Sasa Lukić. I think he's a good squad depth. I think he's an okay price range. So I think he's a good option for Leeds. I think we should do that deal. The other little bit of Leeds news is that Pascal STRUIJK has signed a new deal that runs to, I think, 2027. So that's great to get him tied down to that, even if he has to be sold eventually because he sort of outgrows the status of the club. And when I say that, I could already tell that there will be comments. A player would never outgrow Leeds United. I just mean in terms of actual playing staff. Sometimes a player gets too good to be held on to, like Rafinha, like Calvin Phillips, and they have to be sold. Is more what I meant. So that's the Leeds news roundup. A little bit of Leeds news, more than we usually have over this World Cup period. But let's talk a little bit about the World Cup, because obviously I love watching football. I've watched every game of the World Cup bar one, which was Argentina, Saudi Arabia, which I am a bit gutted that I missed. But I have really enjoyed this World Cup because there has been so many upsets. Like I said at the start, I'm recording this just before the round of 16 games start this afternoon. And the fact that Germany have gone out, the fact that Belgium have gone out, the fact that Denmark have gone out, because Denmark had a very, very good team and they wanted themselves to be considered not as dark horses anymore, but as genuine contenders because of the players that they have. And Australia beat them. And Australia are now through into the round of 16, and Japan beat Spain and Germany in their group and lost to Costa Rica. So it's just up in the air. And I think what's interesting to me about this is in past times you would have been able to easily predict a World Cup or a Euros group just by looking at the teams who are in it and historically who've done well, and you'd just be able to say, yeah, them, and they'll go through, and they will. But this time it's so strange because it's like the level was here and the lower teams are here, and now the level's starting to even out, and these teams are starting to say, well, if we play in a low block and we hit them on a counter-attack, we're capable of nicking a goal here because we've got the quality to just score that goal and to defend stoutly throughout the games. Oh, Serbia have gone out as well, who also had a great team. But more to my point, I think the level is now being brought up, and there's only four teams, I think, in the entire tournament that haven't lost a game yet, England being one of them, and our opponents on Sunday, Senegal, being another one. So I think the level is being brought up. I think quality overall will show out, but I do think that this means that they need to rethink the 3-team groups for the 2026 World Cup in the USA, Mexico and Canada, because the drama that this provides, this 4-team group system, is unmatched. And we've seen it, this competition, with the fact that Japan somehow knocked out Germany by winning against Germany and Spain, is unbelievable. I mean, France lost to Tunisia. They were already through, but France lost to Tunisia. Australia beat Denmark. It's been amazing for upsets this tournament. Obviously, like we said, Saudi Arabia beat Argentina as well. So it's been amazing for upsets. And hopefully that continues. And hopefully some of these teams like Australia, like who else is there that's got out of the group, like Morocco, hopefully they get through into the next round and make it a little bit more interesting, because there's different teams in the later stages that you wouldn't usually see there. So yeah, I think the World Cup on the field has been fantastic so far. It's been great to watch. It's been entertaining, and long may it continue until we get that eventual winner, which I can't see being England, but I really hope it is. That's going to be the end of this video. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a Leeds update, and then I wanted to talk about the World Cup as well, because like I said, I've been watching every game and there's so much to talk about with the World Cup that it's just brilliant, but nobody wants to watch it on this channel because it's a Leeds channel, so I have to get it in these Leeds news updates. So I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Hit that like button down below. Hopefully you'll have noticed that the audio quality is significantly better in this video. That is because I have a new microphone, which is the microphone that you'll see in all podcasts like Joe Rogan, everything like that. So new crispy audio quality. I hope you've enjoyed it. So hit a like button down below for that. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time on Leeds Lately with a video in a couple of days' time.